This is a brand new Husqvarna 395 XB that we just got today. This is an axe. Just kidding. There's no chainsaw in the box. Now on to the real unboxing that we did earlier.
New toy. I've had my other 395 saw for going on about 5-6 years, something we use almost every day here. It's been a great saw. I just had to replace the muffler, and now I had an engine mount, or one of the anti-vibration mounts break. So I decided, or time to turn that one into a backup and get a new one. I've never actually ordered a saw online, so we're gonna see what we got here. I don't know if I'm gonna have to assemble it or what's gonna go on here. There's some easy, fun reading right there. Wow.
Yeah, it should be fun to read.
Does anybody ever read a chainsaw manual? Probably should.
I would. I probably would.
You probably should, but.
I would.
So this is the third one of these. Originally I had a 394 a long time ago from the early 90s, I think. Made in Brazil now.
Yep.
Interesting.
This isn't your Homeowner chainsaw. This is a beastie boy here.
I put a 42-inch bar on this saw.
Yep.
We use it for cutting down units of lumber. So
Yep.
this is a real saw. Here's, I pop the cover off, check the air filter, that's tight. Check the spark plug that it's tight from the factory just to make sure. You don't want your air filter loose, you don't want to be sucking in crap. And then also the spark plug, if you run saws, there's aluminum head on these, so if you run your saw with a loose spark plug, you can strip out your threads and then you'll have a saw that won't hold the spark plug, and that isn't any fun.
It weighs about 17.4 pounds or 7.9 kilograms.
I have owned also the Husqvarna 3120. And that is a beast of a saw, don't get me wrong. But it's so freaking heavy. I feel like the power to weight ratio on this saw is so much better. Your gas goes here, then your bar and chain oil goes in the front.
Okay.
So bar and chain oil, gas. And what that does is when this clutch spins, it actually pumps oil out into this little line right here that then goes into a groove in your bar and then oils your chain. So it keeps your chain from drying out. Go put a bar on this thing. All right, this is an old bar that I've had around. It's in good shape. I've actually had it re-leveled and stuff, but it's been sitting around a long time. It's dirty. And so in this groove here where the chain runs, you get a bunch of crud in there. Well, that's not good. So what I want to do is get this cleaned out, and then I'm going to get this chain kind of cleaned off a little bit so that we have good clean surfaces to work with. We'll get a little extra oil in there. So otherwise you'll just wear out your bar needlessly because you'll be grinding a bunch of grit through there. So just real simple.
You ever heard of white finger disease?
No.
Almost like a form of shell shock where you operate a chainsaw for too long and you get that vibration.
Too much vibration?
Vibration in your hand, they call it.
Huh.
That it can affect your hand.
Does it make your fingers go white?
Yeah, something like that.
It's amazing. The engine is spring mounted to the part of the saw that you actually hold on to. There's 3 or 4 different mounts. This spring, there's another one underneath here, there's where this mounts, and there's one back here, and I think another one over in here. I
Okay.
don't know if you can see that. Well, you can see it.
You can see it? That's part of the anti-vibration system we were just talking about. It helps to prevent the white finger disease.
When you put a chain on, you always got to make sure you put it on the right direction. I promise you, if you put a chain on going backwards, it will not cut. And I only know that because I've done it.
What are some things you gotta keep in mind when putting a new chain on here?
There's this little sprocket inside of here. You see the chain here? They call that your driver. These drivers fit into a little sprocket, and you got to make sure they go into that, because if you miss the sprocket, then no bueno. On a new saw, it's always good to go through and check all the screws and bolts to make sure they're tight. In fact, after you run it just a little bit, I would highly recommend going over your saw and checking all the stuff. Make sure nothing's gotten loose.
And if you're interested in Husqvarna chainsaws and the whole entire line of products that they produce, we'll include a link in the description below so you can head over to their website and check it out. We do receive a small commission on anything you purchase using one of our affiliate links. We just want to thank you in advance for that.
When you're putting a chain on, Kyle, you want to be able to pull the chain up a little bit, just like that. It's got to be loose enough, otherwise you put too much stress on your tip, and then your tip will burn out, get super hot, because it's got too much friction going on there. And honestly, once I run this saw, this chain will get loose. And I'll have to tighten it again. It's one of those things, you start it up, you run it just a little bit, and you got to stop and check.
And also, Husqvarna, if you're watching, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to do some sort of partnership.
Mixed gas only. If you run straight grass into the saw, you will wreck it in 30 seconds. So you have to always run mixed gas. High quality oil and good no ethanol gas. Don't run stuff with ethanol, and don't buy cheap mixed oil. It's not worth it. When you go to start it, they have a decompression valve right here because they have a lot of compression in that cylinder. So you push that little blue button in. You're gonna flip the switch for the on. Come on over here. You're gonna flip that switch to on. Okay, push it in, stop. On is out. Then you're gonna pull the choke out, blue choke lever. So you're gonna pull it till it fires. It'll fire. Then we push that in, and it's on an automatic kind of half choke. You'll start it up. It'll kind of run fast for a little bit. Let it run fast for just a little bit. Once it's had a chance to kind of get everything going right, then you can just pull the trigger just a little bit and it'll release it off of that half choke and the engine will slow down. All right, first pull on the brand new saw. I think it'll start, Kyle? No? Okay. How about second pull? Third pull? Oh. Doesn't have any gas in it, so you gotta pull that gas into the carburetor.
Yeah, you know. So I said I wasn't gonna start.
Oh!
So I said I wasn't gonna start on the first one.
So the saw is fired. We're gonna push in the blue choke lever. Now it's on half choke. We're gonna push in the blue button again because we need decompression. And then we'll pull it again. All right, so now I ran it a little while. I spun the chain for a little bit. One of the things I'm gonna look for here is obviously my chain's a little loose. But another thing you can kind of see if you get in real close, Kyle, you can actually see that the chain is a little wet in there. There's some oil from the oiler getting pumped into there, so now we know that the bar and chain are being oiled. The other thing you can kind of see where I was running the saw and pulling it, we had a little, they call that oil sling. It was throwing some oil as it went around the tip.
Yep.
So you can see that your saw or your chain and bar are getting oiled. You want to make sure that stuff's getting oiled.
If you're interested in this type of stuff here, this chainsaw knowledge, go ahead and type in the comments because we want to know if you guys want to see more chainsaw content.
So the chain tensioner is right tucked in here. I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit. A lot of the newer saws, not this saw though, I don't know, come on Husqvarna, why not? I don't know. But a lot of new saws have a tensioner right here where you can just tension it and it tightens it right there, but not this saw. It is awfully nice of Husqvarna to send you a handy little tool like this. This little tool has got a 10 millimeter, an 8 millimeter, and then of course the correct sized Allen wrench for pretty much all the Allens that are on here, which is really nice. All right, we're gonna try and fire it up again now one more time. One thing I'd say about chainsaws, everybody wants to start their saw and just rev that thing up and go right to town, but I would highly recommend let your saw warm up a little bit. Let it idle for a little while, let stuff warm up, especially this brand new saw, never been used, you know? You want that oil in the gas mixture to get into all the bearings inside the crankcase, you know? Even on my first cuts here, I think with this saw, when I go out and use it here, I'm not gonna really open it wide up all the way. I'll probably just run it half, 3/4 throttle and let it just cut a little bit and see how it does. All right, there we go.
We're gonna compare this chainsaw with another chainsaw that he's got in the rain.
This is my older saw. This one is a 2021, I believe. Been a good saw. Like I said, right now it's actually got a, see how this flexes way too much? I actually have a broken spring mount down here. That in itself isn't enough reason to replace the saw. You could just fix that pretty easily. But I decided this saw is about 5 years old now, 4 years old. We run it every day. I want to have a backup saw, or this has become the backup saw. That'll become my main saw. Got this old Stihl 2 here, and that's my brother's saw. He likes that saw, and this one's pretty beat too. So it's just time for a new saw. So, is it gonna cut straight, Kyle? What do you think? Did I sharpen good enough, or did I mess it up?
I think it'll be just fine.
Oh, we had it run a little while ago. I'll see if it'll fire without choking it. Oh yeah. There it is. Oh, we let her warm up here for a little while. All right, cut very nice. Now that I've had it warmed up, heated up a little bit, ran it a little bit, I'm gonna bring it back inside. I'm gonna check through all these bolts and things, make sure everything's still tight. A lot of times things loosen up a tiny bit. Set this on here. This is my chainsaw sled. Kind of keep all of our stuff here.
What do you think about this chainsaw? We know that you've had others like this before.
This is the third one that I've had. From what I've, a little bit that I've run this saw, it's gonna be another real rip snorting saw, real serious saw. If you're cutting any big timber, big wood, you know, we use this saw to cut down these units of lumber, so it's a big unit. Then yeah, it's a great saw for you. If you're just cutting down trees in your backyard and trimming off a few branches, it's probably a little too big.
What kind of a chainsaw you think would be best for a homeowner?
So I would say typically smaller saws in that probably 40 to 60 cc's, in that range.
If you're someone that's watching this video, they're looking to buy the 395 XP, what do you say about that?
Husqvarna makes a good quality product. This is the XP is their professional model. They last well. The other one we've run every day for almost 4 years now. And it's got a lot of life and it still runs, actually doesn't run much different than this one actually. Starts up real good, runs, idles, cuts really well. It's just like I said, I've had a few things break on mine, and I just want to make sure that I've got a saw that I can run absolutely every day, all the time, and now I've got a backup. So.
Yep, we got this workhorse up and running like a pro. And we also learned a lot in the process too. But cutting like a pro is about more than just a powerful saw. There are way more secrets and simple tricks that make your work faster, safer, and easier than you think. We show you those tips and help you avoid most common chainsaw problems in this video right here. We'll see you there, brother. And sister.
Lovely weather out today. Lovely weather.